Two, three. Welcome to the Cricket in USA show with Ganesh Sanap. With me here on the discussion panel is, I'm going to go in alphabetical order. Anuj Patel is the board chairman of NCCA. Dr. Atul Rai is SCCA stalwart, USA cricket stalwart for decades now, and Vishwa Gaddamanugu from Seattle. He has been instrumental in the NWCL cricket structure in the Seattle area. So welcome to the show, gentlemen. I am going to start with Anuj Bhai, Dr. Rai, and then Vishwa Bhai. Go in alphabetical order. Here's what I want to do is you guys give us the current state of the cricket in your respective areas. I'm here right here with Anuj Bhai, so I know pretty much, but yeah. Current status of cricket in your area, the current cricket challenges that you have locally and at national level, and how do you plan to resolve these challenges if given an opportunity? So let's just start with the introductions first, and then we'll go about answering these questions. Is that a good fair thing?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right. Okay, Anuj Patel.
Yeah, I'm Anuj Patel, chairman of board of directors in NCCA, and pretty much our local NCCA is one of the largest league on the West Coast and been there since 1892. It's like long 125-26 years of tradition, and locally we play multiple divisional format. We have 45 overs in B through D division, 50 overs in A division. On top of it, we have summer T20 as well as winter T20 going on. Apart from that, we have some tournaments around the year, like we participate into the couple of different West Coast interleague tournaments, as well as we have 4th of July IPL style T20 tournament. We have youth league going on also in NCCA. We usually conduct it at the start of the season or towards the mid. And challenge wise is like we are still trying to find out how we can basically be aligned and come up with USA cricket so that our players are recognized and they see a pathway going forward rather than kind of like trying to act in silos. And how can we all work as a league? How can we all the league admins work together to form something that works better as alliance and give a pathway to our cricketers, those who are interested playing at a higher level.
Thank you very much, Anuj Bhai. We will come back to the questions that I mentioned initially. Dr. Rai, stage is yours.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ganesh, for having me, first of all, and good evening to Anuj and Vishwa. It is almost diabolical in a ways, right, that we talk about local challenges because here we are on the cusp of what we call as a transformation of US cricket, so to speak. And we thought that we were there. And, I was on the board and we talked about it. So I've been part of Southern California Cricket Association for decades, as you guys know, and I was president for many years and, multiple times actually. I'm still on the board, and I was part of the US Cricket Board as well in the past and until last year. And I passionately have done things for youth development, as the player developments and infrastructure developments. In fact, just as recently as a couple of years ago, I worked hard to get 2 separate grounds going in Southern California. And last year, we started a youth league in Southern California. In fact, we couldn't have the tournaments last year, but we just started it last weekend, the first game of the youth league last weekend. So the challenge, as you talk about, right? Now, and all of us on this call know that we raise the funds on our own, right? For all of these things, the volunteer bases, the whatever efforts we need, the equipment or the finances, all of this is raised locally and through local sponsors, and most of it is because of the goodwill of a lot of people. It's not like they are getting any major returns on their investment. So this is where the disconnect is, I believe, with the national organization and the individuals at the local level. So I always believe that we should empower the local organizations, right? The leagues and the clubs and the academies and the youth players and all these little kids who play the game at the local level, what are they looking for? To play for USA. So if we can somehow empower these people, because you can never spend enough money to actually hire hundreds of thousands of people to monitor these things, right? So we have to use the local resources intelligently and planned in a planned manner. So, and that's where the challenges are, because infrastructure development, we are fortunate to have beautiful 4 turf fields at Woodley. How many leagues around the country have the same facility? Okay, this is where I think we need to put our money. We need to put our money in our youth developments, help the young guys grow. If you look at the last 20 years, how many of those under 19 players have gotten into the national team? Right? Where are our national tournaments and pathways and all of these things to connect the dots, right? So it's not a rocket science. It needs to be where we must have a goal and we must be cognizant of what it is. We should be transparent. We should be, and have one common goal, connect people together, speak the same language at the end of the day, correct? So, and that's where it is. The challenges are not unique to us, to all of us, or to others in the rest of the country for that matter. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dr. Rai. Vishwa Bhai, sorry to keep you waiting, but yeah, please. I've seen all your work on the West Coast and Pacific Northwest. So, Vishwa Bhai.
Yeah, with the COVID gone in the sense, it's kind of diminishing now. Cricket has kind of taken the front stage, and slowly and steadily, the teams have started to come out. The league has started here in Seattle, but but our challenges have always been fighting the rain. In fact, today we have introduced a new format called the NWCL hundreds. We are just following the ECB, the new format. We're testing it out. In fact, like we are wanting to play a game and there is rain going on now. So Seattle has that unique challenge of the shortened window of play, and facilities have always been a challenge. And then I think compared to your side, where the population of the South Asians is much more, and then there is a say into the into the political system and all that. Here we still lack that in the Seattle area. So facilities are again, the teams are growing, the facilities are still the same. They're adding up, but again, not to the extent of where it should be. So that is where Seattle is. Hopefully, through dialogues and possibly looking at all the developments that have been done, in California and in different places, we can take that example and hopefully we can start to add more facilities here and grow the cricket.
Right. So, as we see, we are all from different areas, and each area has a unique challenge, a pretty different challenge that we have to face on a day-to-day basis. As you mentioned, rain in Seattle area, in Bay Area, it's always about the grounds, and then most of the current parts of the country also have similar or challenges. So over about all of us have almost more than 2 decades of cricket administration experience, if you look at it, and we've maneuvered through tricky situations, and it's just best wishes to ourselves that we will get through whatever challenges are thrown at us. But I'm just going to open it for a general discussion as to what needs to happen at the regional and the national level, if you will. I think this is a panel that on the West Coast we can safely say that it's up to us to how to better our cricket over here on the West Coast. We recently conducted our West Coast Interleague T20 tournament. All of our teams participated, and I would want to say that it was a fairly successful tournament. So all of us, we have to pat ourselves on the back. But yeah, feel free to chime in your thoughts on any cricket related. I know there's an under-19 camp that is started today. Tomorrow there's practice matches at different grounds. Hopefully me and Anuj Patel will have an opportunity to go watch a cricket match. And then some of the things, we may not agree on everything that is being done, but hey, at the end of the day, it's our national cricket setup and somehow we have to go support it. So feel free to chime in, gentlemen. I didn't want to, but yeah, you give me an opportunity to speak and I'll just keep talking to, please.
No, first of all, I want to say congratulations on that tournament. It was just done such a short time, and I'm really amazed at how you guys pulled it off. And but really, but I also saw how much hard work you guys did. Which is amazing, and that's what I always talk about. People don't see all of the things that happen behind the scenes, and players come and play, and you facilitated that, which is phenomenal. So, and this is where I was coming to when you talk about challenges, right? We have talented players, but they don't have a way to actually show their talent. If you don't create an opportunity. So I'll give you an example. Like last year when I was on the US Cricket Board, I was pushing so hard to get a national tournament going, and I was appointed, I think, cricket chair in June. And by July, I had a program, I think, on their table. And I said, let's do it, and the board said yes, actually, and they were not against it. But then, of course, then they said, oh, we need to look at the funding. And so then they said, oh, we have to wait for the CEO to approve it. And so lo and behold, then I was told that there was no money. And I was really disappointed, to put it mildly, because, at the end of the day, those combines and all the things that we did were a waste of time, in my personal opinion. That's my personal opinion. Because in 2019, we had a national camp in LA. They brought 30 players to it. And I remember asking that gentleman at that time, who was in charge of the cricket operations, Wade Edwards, how did we come to this 30 number, right? How did we get these players? And he said to me that, oh, that's from the combines in 2018 May. So from 2018 May to 2019 August or July, we didn't have any opportunity for anyone else to get onto the national side, including our youth. So that says a lot about where we are with our development of the game, right? So, and we talk about, see, if you look at sorry, Anuj and Vishwa, I hope I am not taking over your conversation here, but I'm just a little more passionate because of what I have seen and what I believe needs to happen. The foundational plan, which is the 2030 plan, and we talk about 5 objectives. There are 5 objectives, by the way. Now, the vision, 2030 vision, it can just be a vision if you don't do something about it, right? So you talk about participation, the growth of the game, and getting the resources, the funding. I don't see any other resource other than the ICC money that we get or the ACE money that they're getting. So it says also in that one of the objectives of funding, raising the financial stability, is by other sources. Where are we with that? Okay. And you talk about our participation. We can't even have a simple membership in every single year, right? And so it talks about transparency. If you want to build trust in the community, do a simple thing. Every single year, have membership, simple membership. I started with that. In fact, I told the USA board that, why are you reinventing the wheel? Go, asking people to come and become members. Won't work. Go to the leagues. They already have a database. They have people that are already members of the leagues. And ask them for the list and you just enroll them. And then you're done. Then you collect the money. The simple things like that they can be. So the problem is somehow there's a disconnect. I'm not saying they're doing anything deliberately, but it's just that, that somehow it's not connected. So you need to connect these things and make sure that, things are happening in a reasonable manner. Sorry, I will stop, and I don't want to take this conversation too much.
So one of the comment I want to make before Anuj Bhai and Vishwa Bhai speak is, I've seen last 10 years, we've had 4 CEOs, and each CEO has brought in a new administration along with him. So there's always, the educational part and going out in the community and educating themselves has something that, I've seen as a serious challenge. Vishwa bhai, you want to chime in?
Yeah, again, once again, I would like to congratulate, like, you, Anuj bhai, and then the entire team, that kind of put the, the actually it's kind of, again, it's more of an inter-region, region, like, from the old days, if you look at it, because we are, we were like two different regions in the, in the past, right? So, trying to bring together that, and with minimal, what do you call, well, each of the teams actually, put together that whole thing. So what it says is, if you have that will to wanting to do it, you will find ways. Again, not doing a national tournament for the last 6 years is such a, crime and sin on like, that the administrators have kind of created in this country. There is, again, there is, a combines or, the lame trials that happened, like, I call it the paper trial, right? Like, asking people to nominate and there was no vision why it was even done at such a quick notice also. So like all this kind of show that, like, administration, yeah, on paper you can write, a 2030, foundation plan. But if you don't have the proper 2020 vision that you can see properly, right? Then why are we even thinking about 10 years down the line? Like, we don't even see some of the things that should be done. Again, most of the leagues are not even involved in discussions, right? Like, most of the discussions happening, among some of the youth, guys that have just entered the scene a year back. They don't even know the ABCs of cricket, actually, like, to be very frank. And why are the the bigger leagues even not even involved in discussion? And one of the other angst that I have is when ICC Americas came here, got rid of Osaka, they promised that they will bring everybody together. Right? These guys have even split even what was there earlier, even into more pieces now, where it's so fragmented that, like, there is such a disconnect in everything that's happening that people are taking sides and nothing is being done to even do anything that can bring people together. At least that's my viewpoint. Again, hopefully the new board kind of again when it forms, hopefully we'll see some changes happening and would like to see a basic thing where the leagues are all connected and then things are communicated so that the viewpoints are taken into account rather than somebody sitting up on the at a 20,000 feet high and trying to make decisions and making everybody move around doing things. I don't think it'll sustain the way it is going on. At least that's my viewpoint after having seen cricket in the last 20 years or so.
I totally concur with you on that part as to the existing league structure. To me, has been a deliberate attempt to undermine the existing cricket structure. I'm straightforward. I'm forthright, and people know about the way I am towards cricket and everything else. So, yeah, that's been an attempt, and that's where these discussions that we are having on West Coast, these discussions need to happen everywhere around the country, and that is when you be the change yourself. Is if you expect a change to happen. So, I'm glad we are having this conversation. Anuj Patel, your thoughts, please.
I saw the same sentiments as what others said. It's like pretty much in line with them. Another thing is the topic I think not covered yet is about registration. So USA Cricket wanted to do registration. Easiest thing they could have done is came and asked each of the leagues around the US and asked them to give us the list of players. We maintain those lists. We have those lists. Instead of trying to get people register through links and whatnot, that could have totally, like, I guess Atul can also agree on it, that part that when he was in the board, like, we talked about this. It's like we could have easily gotten the list through the leagues and they can validate and say, these are the people who are playing here. Be it selections, there are a lot of other things that we need to, like, there is a lot of room to improve on. And we had a really high expectation after USACA was taken out by ICC, and we thought the new body, new set of people will bring a change that most of the country desired. But now it's like we still are really confused. And what is happening? What is the pathway? How do you get into it? Are there any even clear lines drawn that this is how things are going to be? Even at times we are confused whether it's USA Cricket versus some other site we are trying to log into, like particularly registration I'm talking about. People try to go in to validate something and try to reset the password, and they get some different message. It doesn't even say USA Cricket. So I don't know where it's going to end, but hopefully there is still a lot of time to correct ourselves. Hopefully the new board that gets appointed in, not sure when the elections will be, but once elections are announced, a new board comes in, and hopefully they work in a line so that we are in a better future.
I
Right.
was just going to add
We
to,
are all hopeful on our cricket. So yeah, that's a very big word, hope. Dr. Rai, please.
I was going to just add to what Anuj was just saying about the membership. Now, ironically, I was the one who actually said to the board back in December of 2019 and this January of 2020. I said to them, you've tried it twice now, going to people individually and asking them to click on a link and all that stuff. Never works, right? So why don't we just go to the league president, right? Because like what Anuj was saying, they have all the database, they have all the information. All you need to tell them is to give you the list, and then you upload it. So we had this long discussion. Finally, they agreed. And then we said, okay, let's connect some Zoom calls with all the league presidents, and then they set up 3 calls, and I was on all 3 of them actually. And so everyone was excited about it, to be honest. And so they provided the information, and nothing happened. And okay, so here we are in January of 2020. We did all this. February, and in fact, I remember saying to the CEO that we should try to get this done by February because elections have to happen every single year. So instead of making people believe that we can't do things on time, I think we should hurry up and get this done so that then we can move on, right? Every year, then we can have a set deadline, and so we were promised by that December 31, everything will be done on time every single year. So. And then, of course, in April, I left the board, and then nothing happened about the membership. And then, of course, now we are again, people are asked to go and click on this link and this and that, and there's such confusion. And now the board is not ready. I'm just confused, to be honest. Why are we having this? Why can't we do this in a simple manner? Anyway, it's very frustrating, but again, it's our organization. At the end of the day, it's our cricket, right? That's why it frustrates us. Otherwise, like if we were far away and we were looking at from distance and we're not involved, it wouldn't bother us so much. But anyway, I mean, I share your frustration. Anyway,
So I've said this before, is either our involvement at the national level is 1 or 2 tournaments a year, and then our team goes internationally. So the rest of the year we are responsible for our own local cricket, and we just don't have time. But what we expect is good governance, because these are paid individuals who are running our cricket, and we do expect them to have good fiduciary duties, because the funding is coming at a good rate. I would want to think, again, I'm not privy to all the numbers, but I would want to think that I think we are in a good place as far as the ICC funding is concerned, right?
I agree. And you said you're not privy. That's a problem, because transparency is one of the requirements of a nonprofit organization, right? And especially in a sports organization, if you want to entice people to come in, you want to make them believe that they're part of it. So transparency is the first step. So financial transparency is an integral part of it. So we don't disclose our financial things. And in fact, I still remember talking to them in late 2019 about 2018 financials and 2019 financials, and then ultimately in 2020 July they published the 2019 ones. I have no idea why they sit on it. To be honest, I don't know. But at the end of the day, we, like you said, the funding that comes from ICC and other sources need to be properly utilized. More than 30% goes to salaries, and out of the, I think it's about 3.4 million or something that was a budget, and 850,000 was spent on salaries. And I don't even know what's coming from other sources, but there is no other source that I know of. And so and the players, by the way, salaries are capped at 200K. So if the salary is 850,000 for the employees, and the players are getting only 200K out of it.
That's collective. Collective. 200K
collective for all the players. Yeah, imagine that, right? So that's the budget that they have. So imagine the frustrations and all that the players go through at times, right? So and so that's why, in fact, when they let the players go last year, COVID as an excuse, I was very disappointed, because in order for you to see, I mentioned the 5 pillars of strategy. One of them is to promote the national team. How do you promote a national team when you don't support your players? And again, sorry, Vishwa and Anuj, I'm taking over your time, but I wanted to tell you that when this guy, what is it, Sohal guy from Washington D.C., Sunny Sohal, yeah, he was hurt playing for U.S. cricket in 2018 and 2009, early 19, I think, and USA cricket didn't have enough insurance to pay for his bills. Poor guy had to come up with $25,000 out of his pocket. And I was so irate talking to the board and these people at that time. And I felt really bad, because I said, this is, incomprehensible to me that your national player now has no health insurance and he can't pay for his own bills. And poor guy was struggling. He was driving Uber or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Which is so sad. So how do we grow the national team if you don't support them, right? We need to provide proper health insurance, benefits, and they should feel comfortable. But hold them accountable. Okay, at the end of the day, you create a pathway. Your national tournaments are conducted regularly, and create the pathway from U13, U15, U17, U19, U21, U23. I think we forget those pathways, right? We stop at U19 because nothing happens after that. But let's go past that. Let's create an A team. All of those things. But again, I digress. But what I'm trying to say is this, that utilizing our resources properly is a fundamental, objective of a nonprofit organization. And so we are lacking, seriously lacking in that. Anyway.
So one thing I wanted to add, to what Dr. Atul was mentioning. We were, again, there was a, 8 or 10 page financial statement that was published, in October of 2020, that had like big numbers of $800,000, $200,000. There is no, drill down into where, again, one of the things that, we are all don't know what's happening is, where that actual money has gone, what monies have gone, right? Throwing at, for example, you run NCCA and when you go to your BOD and say, hey, I spent $200,000 on running this league, and then you are done with doing the financials, right? You will end up, hearing 1,000 different questions from different people. Whereas a national organization, and it's very ironic and very sad that not many people have even asked them that question, or even they have, as a non-profit national governing body, they haven't even bothered to have a drill down report on those financials. Even till date, it's been a good 6 months or 9 months now, right? Nobody knows. And we don't even know what has happened in 2017. We don't know what has happened in 2018, right? Again, so this is a very, very sad state of affairs. Again, as I'm thinking more and more, For me, Osaka was looking far better than what these guys are doing right now. Right, it is more, again, more media releases, like, it's like playing cricket on Facebook, right? There are people that play Facebook cricket. Right? This is like that, again, there is more media releases than the actual things that are happening on the field. And every other statement has to relate to the commercial partner more than the USA cricket itself. Why am I signed up, to hear all the nonsense, that is not even, technically related. Like, for example, they made this recent MILC team announcements, right? I'm sorry to say there are some teams that are like the friends and family package. I know it's a private entity, it's being done. But again, if that is done, then let it be through their channels. Now, why is USA Cricket promoting and sending out emails and all that? Right? Like, there are, like, issues like this, right? The financials are a major part. There is, we have always heard about the conflict of interest within the board of some of the members. Again, this is not talked about. And even the meeting minutes that has been published. Again, it's like, same thing again, a governing body, like, like NCCA, like you guys have a board meeting, and then you take out, all the, the crucial elements of discussion points, and only put like, we played this league, we played that league in the meeting minutes. Then that doesn't even, do any good for anybody. Like, where is the transparency is coming from? Right. So again, there is, again, as I've seen, there are more problems than anything good that has been done. There is some progress that has been done, but again, with all the money and all the resources that are there on hand, what is being done, I personally think it is far less than what it should be.
All right.
I think also the promise, I think, not to interrupt, but the promise, more than anything else, I feel that the promise, it's a trust, right? When you make a promise to somebody, it's a trust. And you break that promise, their trust is broken, right? We can't afford it anymore, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? People are tired of it. I mean, the cricket playing people, public are tired of it. They don't want to hear the excuses anymore. They're like, okay, you know what? We've seen it enough times, and it is no different. Why are we even going down that path? Let's just stay away. They don't want to be part of it, right? So that is just very difficult to overcome, unless you do something seriously different and change the course of action.
All right, gentlemen, we're coming to the past 30 minutes to the hour. I think we've had a good discussion. We need to continue this dialogue going, continue more cricket in our region, and this way hopefully we'll inspire other regions also to step up to the plate and organize themselves. So thank you very much for being part of this discussion. We'll keep the faith, as we say, go cricket, go cricket, lovely cricket is all I want to say. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Appreciate all the time.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you, Ganesh. Thank you, Vishwa. Thank you, Anuj. Thanks for having.
Thanks, Atul. Thanks, Vishwa, for
Thank you.
joining. And thanks, Ganesh, for setting it up.